Hi guys. We're here with some stuff. I got something in the mail because I fall for hype sometimes. Also, this looks lovely. I did already open it, but I like to take it out of the box on camera and pretend that it's fresh. It is still fresh. It's just I've looked at it. This look is not with this palette. I will be making one in a little bit, but I put this on this morning to play and I really like it, so I'm trying not to take it off yet. So let's open this up and get some swatches. So this is a Sephora Pro palette, the Warm, and it's got 28 colors in here. That seems unreasonable, but I bought it. I bought it at Sephora because, you know, it's a Sephora brand, for $68. It comes with this, oh, it's like a little booklet on how to use some of the shades if you're feeling lost, which, yeah, and it like marks them out about which ones to use where and how to get the different looks, which will probably be very helpful because this is a lot. This is also huge and heavy. It is very heavy. The writing on the front is yellow. It's goldy. Supposedly it's different on the different palettes. I don't have any of the other two yet. I say yet because I'm expecting to love this palette and for it to justify me buying the other two. So, high expectations. So this thing better be amazing or else I'm going to be very upset because this is $68 for a house brand, which, okay. So it does have this little insert with all the colors on it, which I really wish they'd just printed them on the packaging, but yeah, it's super gorgeous, super bright. I did already mess with this shade when I opened it up to see if anything was cracked. The corner had kind of lifted out, so I pressed it back into the pan, and I think we're good. We'll find out. If it's absolutely horrible, I'll probably just return it and get a different one. But yeah, it's gorgeous. It's got a nice, it looks like it has a nice mix of metallic and matte shades. It's gonna be mostly matte. So let's get into swatching. Oh, I can keep the little flyer in front of me for colors. Maybe if I put it on something that had a background. Okay, the box has it too. So let's start across the top row. This is Canvas, Oat, Biscotti, and Camel. They look like cream shades. Which, to be fair, most of these are going to be cream shades. That's the first one. That is my skin tone. Also basically my skin tone. Slight color. Slight color. So this is the top corner. They're going to be really light. I can see the powder on my skin, but that's going to be the kind of shade that I set my crease to brow bone with. Like I do pretty much every day. A fan I could be using. Alright, so next we're going to do Ochre, Saddle, and Auburn. Oh, ooh, ooh. I am confident in these. That is pretty. Also really pretty. Yes. Okay, so the next row is Sand, Brass, Clay, and Copper? Really? You're calling that copper? I wouldn't call that copper, but sure, Sephora. Oh, these are really nice. That's a matte, so yeah, not gonna be as... That's just lovely. So then we have Bronze, which is the one that popped out in the corner, Adobe, and Sandstone. I really hope I'm reading the right ones out of this. They look right. So Bronze, because I pressed it back into the pan, I have already swatched. This is gorgeous. Like, shoomp. Now, I have, again, I would call this more of a gold than a bronze. I feel like bronze has to have more brown in it, but now I'm just nitpicking shades because I'm noticing I don't necessarily agree with their names. I would offer to do them like all on my arm, but I don't think I have enough room. I don't think I could. So then we have hazelnut, khaki, peach. Ooh, that's a little textured. And brick. Again, I wouldn't call that, well, I guess maybe like a very purpley brick, like the really fresh bricks. But yeah, let's get these on the hand. I'm curious about this one. Okay, that's nice. That one I'm gonna be excited about. I love me some plum shades. So then we have terracotta, burnt umber, and chestnut. Those look nice. I am so far really happy with how many of these are matte. I use a lot more mattes than I do shimmers, at least when building a look. Then we'll have brown sugar. Oh, that's also kind of textured like this one. Caramel, sepia, and coconut shell. I approve of coconut shell. That fits it for me. Shoop. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, I think that's one of those. Let me get these on. I think that's one of those glitter suspended in a matte shadow shades. I don't know. Last three. Cocoa, cedar, and obsidian. I feel like my hand's just getting too wet for good swatches. Let's see how obsidian does. Obsidian's nice. Okay, so that is all 28 colors in here. Touching them, I'm a little nervous about this shade. This one I feel like is going to require some building up or a sticky base. It's pretty, but it's going to require some work. I really like, sorry, I'm trying to like show you but also not blind you. I really like the color selection. I feel like the choices they made, because like, yeah, these are all very similar type beigey shades, but they're a progression. So like if this one's too light for you, that one might work, that one might work. I'm not expecting to love every single one of these eyeshadows because there's 28 of them. This is potentially, I'm trying to think, this is the biggest palette I've ever bought. Numbers of color wise. I don't know. It is a little messy, like there's some powder on there from where this one lifted up, so that's not the best, but also I bet you if I took this back and said, hey, you know, this shadow is popping out of the pan, I could get another one replaced right there. I am excited. I really like their choices. They have a lot of mattes, and then they have a couple of these like shimmer. We have some full-on metallic. I'm slightly nervous about the glitter in this, but overall I think I'm going to be able to make a lot of really good looks with this. So let me go take off this face, and we'll put some of this on my face. Hi guys. So now we're going to do the demo. I've got my foundation on. I just put on eye primer. I need to really quick powder underneath my eyes in case of fallout. And I'm going to try to use this massive mirror for my whole face, which has worked out really well so far, because I've done my primer and my foundation in it. Oh, and I just got myself in the eye. I'm going to swipe the excess over my nose, because you might as well. Okay, so let's start trying things. I want to go into Canvas with this Morphe brush and just do my crease to brow bone setting thing that I like. Yeah, it blends into my skin really nicely because it's, you know, pretty much my skin tone. I guess I should put it over here so you guys can actually see. actually a really good match. A lot of cream shades end up really yellow looking on me, and that just looks like more skin. So I like that, which means I'll probably like that one as well because they're so close. Practically the same color. Oh, and I have to start picking things that I want to do. I'm probably going to do just a really lazy, warm, neutral eye. So let's go into Sandstone, this one, and we'll put that as my transition color. Oh, that's really nice. So it's pigmented, and it blends out really softly, like that. That was very fast. I like that. Sorry. I'm trying to like hold the palette without getting my hands in any of the powders, but also be angled so you guys can see it. This is a really, really pretty eyeshadow. Although now I've fallen into the let's try and make them even game, which they will probably never be even on my two different eye shapes. They're blending out really nicely. I'm wondering about if I want to take ochre. I kind of want to take ochre at the edge of it. Let's see how that goes. Okay. And by edge of it, I mean literally over the top, because that's what my hand did. And then blend it out at the edges, which it didn't really need, but making a very pretty orange. Very orange. Okay, so let's go in on the lower lash line. Do I want to do the same colors? Possibly. Maybe. I think I'm gonna take Sandstone again on this Luxie 231. I was using a NYX blending brush before. Just that's still just a really nice orange. And then I think I'm going to run over it with clay to add a little bit more depth but less oranginess. Oh, you're pigmented. We're just gonna blend some of you away, cause shit. Well then. That happened. Okay, so that's a little darker than I want on my lower lash line. And we're gonna have to work on it. I think I want to take Burnt Umber, this one, on that same Luxie brush, and start darkening the outer V on the top to balance the fact that I have a very dark lower lash line right now compared to the top. Sorry, I'm blocking you guys. This is helping. Sorry. I can like see it out of the corner of my eye as it fills over into the screen. And then I'm like, oh no, Ellen, don't do that. But this is really nice so far. I really like that. It's kind of giving me like, I don't have the Melt Rust Stack, but this is kind of the tones that a lot of people ended up with out of them. Very like mustardy yellow, reddish brown. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to take, I'm just gonna like buff some of the excess on the outer corner, and then I'm actually going to go in with this little Pro Smoky Liner brush back into Burnt Umber and very delicately pick some up. Because these are very pigmented, at least the darker shades are. Start defining that outer third. So I don't know why I thought these weren't going to be super pigmented. Like, everybody said they were pigmented, and I was like, oh, it's going to be fine. I'll put this one on my face. Calm down, Ellen. You are not a professional. No way are you a professional. But I think we fixed what I did to myself. And I kind of want to go into bronze as I block it. This guy. And put him on my lid. I think he, because apparently bronze is a he, is going to be like a nice yellowy accent to all this warm brown. Okay, so. I'm sorry. It's like working with telepathy, which is one of my favorite ColourPop shadows, and it's just super. It's just like if you had an autocorrect tool that put the color from the pan on your eye. That's what this is doing. When you sweep your brush back and forth, you get that really metallic finish to it. So I like that. I like that a lot. I'm gonna do it on the other eye. Sorry. This really is just one dip it in and you've got more than enough color. I have the urge to layer over it, which won't do anything to it, but I always do it with my lid shade, so we'll pretend it does something. I like this. I like this a lot. So I'm gonna take, nope, this one and just feather the edge of bronze out into burnt umber, so we don't lose any of that depth. Yeah, I really like that. I'll do it on the other one. Sorry. Okay, so I'm really happy with this so far. Super happy. I don't know what I'm gonna put on the inner corner though. I'm not sure that's light enough, and this is a little too light. I don't know. Yeah, that's too close. And that's, maybe I mix them together. Hold on. Okay, yeah, that'll work. So we're gonna get fancy. I'm sorry ahead of time. I'm going to take my Morphe G18 and dip it into sand and copper. Sand and copper. And pop that in my inner corner. Oh, I like that. Okay, that works out. So let's do it again. On the other side. Oh, I like this a lot. And I got a little eye booger. Sorry. That's like the theme of this section. Sorry, I'm blocking your view of the thing you hopefully want to see. Okay, so I think I'm going to pause there on the eyes before I ruin them. And I'm going to do the rest of my face and come back. So far, this is making me very happy. Hi guys, so this is the finished look. I threw on some blush and highlight the rest of my face, and I really like this, which is good because I paid for it, and bad because now I want the other two. Because this is, I only used, I used 7 out of the 28 shades in here, and they're all really nice so far, and they're well curated. Like, I think they're all gonna go really well together. You're probably gonna, you're gonna get a lot of warm looks because it's a warm palette, but you have a lot of product, like an unreasonable amount of product, and yet I still want to go get the cool one and the editorial one so I can have them, because they're more pigmented than I expected, which was good, because, they should be. And I haven't played with the Sephora regular formula, so it makes sense that the Pro formula would be really pigmented and blend out really nicely, and it's really nice. It's still a little weird that I paid $68 for a house brand. Like, that's not what I would think I'd be doing with my time and money, but this is really nice. And I think bringing out a cool, a warm, and a editorial brights palette is a really good idea, because if this was just 28 that was a mix of cool tones, warm tones, and, bright, unnatural colors, I don't think it would be as popular. But the option to pick your favorite tones, they can market it correctly, because you can hit on the current trend of warm toned eyeshadow palettes with this one. You can catch the people who aren't super excited about the warm tone palettes with the cool tone palette, and even if you have a ton of warm tones and a ton of cool tones, You could also pick up the editorial palette, because if it's this kind of formula in bright colors, it's gonna be amazing. And I'm gonna have to try and find room in my budget for the other two. Not right away, because I'm about to go on a no-buy, or an attempted no-buy, low-buy type month. And these are really nice. Like, this was fast. For something this smoky and this gold, to be doing it with just regular powder shadows from a house brand. This is really nice. And if you didn't like the other formulas that are on the market, or didn't like their color selection, because they've been putting a lot of reds in with it, which is not everybody's cup of tea. I do like red tones, but most people prefer the oranges and the brown sides. The red and the pink of the warm palettes is not what everybody goes for. It can look really sickly pretty quickly on anybody who doesn't do well with red around their eyes. I don't mind it, I'm fine with it, but I can see why they would keep that out of it. And I think the only one that I'm a little confused on is Peach. It's just, because like this one I can do probably with the neutral browns around it, but this one, maybe it's gonna look gorgeous, but I feel like that would have been more cohesive in the cool tone palette with purples around it, like purples and pinks. But overall, I'm really excited about this palette. I think this is really going to help me with my minimal purchases in the upcoming month, because I have so much to pull from. I have a lot of mattes to touch. I think I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this, and I like the packaging is sturdy, it's heavy, it's got the really big mirror. I'm just very, very excited about all of this. So, if you have $68 to throw around, go look at some of these on the website, or if they have them in store. I don't know if they're in store yet. But if you do the same type of tones all the time, if you're always doing warm tone looks, if you're always doing cool tone looks, get the other one. And then if you want to play, get the editorial. I'm probably going to try and pick up all three because I am extra. Also, there were some shades in the editorial that looked, oh, I hit something, that looked like they were duplicates for some of my favorite shades in the Urban Decay Electric palette, and I have been wanting to get something that duped that because that palette is discontinued. So I'm not comfortable pulling that out and using it a whole bunch and potentially finishing shades if I don't have something to replace it with, because those shades are gorgeous. They're really good formula in that electric palette, and I think the editorial will give a lot of the same looks. And yes, that is, I think they're also limited edition. I think these are limited edition, so technically the editorial palette would be out, but then you'd have 2 full shadows of the dupe shades to go through while trying to find replacements. So that's kind of rambly. I'm sorry. It's the weekend and I've had a long week. But I very much like this. I will be tagging the looks I do with this if you want to follow me on Instagram. And then in a month or so, I'm going to come back in and do a more in-depth review. Because this is just first impressions. It could be that I don't actually get daily use out of this, which will be another reason to hold off on buying the other 2 until I've actually gotten a lot of use out of this. It may not be my favorite formula, but currently I like it a lot. I'm going to use it a bunch, and I will check back later with whether or not my opinion changes. Sorry for my rambling. Thank you for watching. Bye, guys.